This won't happen twice. The New York Knicks just lost by 11 points to the Philadelphia 76ers. And Dariel and I are going to break this down and talk about this game. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. We're back on the duo. It's been way too long. And, let's jump right into it. Honestly, what I saw more than anything, I said this on a past video. I don't know which one. It's sometime within this week. There's going to be a night in Philadelphia where Joel Embiid goes for 50, and it's going to cause the Knicks to lose. There it is. Embiid went for 50, and the Knicks lost by 11 in the process. The Knicks could have won this game. Mitch being hurt didn't help. 76ers went nuclear, and they also took a lot more free throws. But I'll toss it over to you, Dariel. What'd you see? What'd you like? What'd you not like?
Yeah, Joel Embiid getting his 50 points is definitely concerning because now it seems like he's going to get his confidence. Even though he still looks wobbly on that knee, just by him putting the ball through the net that many times, he's going to gain confidence in his leg. He's going to gain confidence in his touches. And it doesn't really bode well for the Knicks. And again, I'm in agreement with you that I think the Knicks could have had this game. There were a few calls that could have gone our way. Brunson had a better game, 39 points, shooting 13 of 27 from the field, 3 of 7 from three-point. So 3 of 7 from three-point, that's 43%, which is good. 13 of 27 from the field is 48%. I don't know, man. It like 48%, 13 of 27 is not bad, but it just didn't feel like a Brunson game. Is it just me, or did you also feel that, like, yeah, he's getting his points, he's getting out of his slump, but did it feel like a good Brunson game? Because to me, it didn't.
I think more than anything, we're looking at a guy who has to force more shots up because the way the 76ers are playing excellent defense on him. This looked more like Jalen Brunson than any other game this series has.
True.
I'm very confident in the fact that Jalen Brunson was able to single-handedly keep the Knicks in this game. In a game that really, this was as Murphy's Law as the game has been for the Knicks in a very long time. The Knicks, this is their first loss tonight on April 25th. This is their first loss in, I believe, 20 days. I think their last loss was April 5th. They've been on a heater regardless from the end of the season into the postseason with these first two wins. At some point, you're going to lose a game. Things went wrong. Mitch was not fully healthy. He was favoring that ankle. Hartenstein gets in quick foul trouble, which was kind of some interesting fouls, a few of them. But whatever, still foul trouble. Dante DiVincenzo gets smacked in the face and his eye gets screwed up. He can't really shoot that well after that. And then Joel Embiid and the entirety of the 76ers went into that third quarter and shot as well as any team ever will in a quarter of basketball. They started out 5 for 5 in that quarter. They finished 9 for 12 from 3. When that happens, and especially in the postseason, if a player scores 50 points, you're most likely losing that game. It doesn't mean that the Knicks are in massive trouble. Obviously, I'm worried. The 76ers are a game away, a home game, from tying the New York Knicks in this series. We know that the 76ers are definitely better than a 7th seed. The Knicks got more focused on Embiid than they ever have in any other game, and it's because he's been playing. He played easily the best game of his playoff career. There's nothing that even comes close to this. And with that increased help, it got Kelly Oubre open looks, and he hit shots. It got Kyle Lowry a good look from 3, and he hit a massive 3. Cameron Payne played well for the first time since 2017. I'm sorry, Cam.
No, it's a fact.
They played well. Their defense was good. The Knicks did not adjust. They kept going over screens into a trap, and the 76ers were able to get good passes out of it, and they were able to get a lot of pick and pops through that with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. And if another player would dig in, then they'd be able to get it open to them. It's not unlike what the Hawks did to the Knicks in 2021, which was my biggest fear as I had a flashback to that. The Knicks play that trap off the pick, and when that happens, there's just always going to be an open man. And when you're facing a team like the 76ers that can run with 5 out, that has 5 guys on the court at all times who can hit threes unless Paul Reed's out there, then, yeah, you're going to see some issues. But at the end of the day, the 76ers didn't look that much different than they ever have. The Knicks looked worse because 2 of their players got injured, DiVincenzo and Mitchell Robinson. Hartenstein got into foul trouble.
Right.
And the Knicks role players did the rare occasion of just not showing up. And when that happens, it happens.
Yeah,
Again, they were never getting swept.
you can say that Philly, they did what they had to do at home, just like the Knicks did. Got 2 Ws, and now Philly got one W. The next game is on Sunday. But I think we do have to bring up Mitch. First of all, like he never looked right. He never looked right to me. Yeah, since the beginning of the playoff series, he was always laboring on that one ankle, and then now he re-sprained the ankle. Was it the same ankle that he had surgery on, or was the opposite?
Yes, it was.
It's the same one. Okay, so that
his left.
that doesn't bode well for us. And he just never looked right. So now, if Mitchell Robinson is down, now we're gonna have to depend on basically Isaiah Hartenstein because Precious Achua is gonna be getting minutes. Your boy, I saw him out on the floor, and I was about to have a heart attack because you know how I feel about Precious. And if Mitchell Robinson is gonna be out for the next game or the next 2 games, and Precious is gonna take those minutes, like again, you know how I feel about Precious. I'm not as confident in Precious as I am in Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. So that's definitely something we got to keep an eye on. Brunson, again, he had a good game on paper, on the stat sheet. He had a good game, but to me personally, I don't think he had a good game, if that makes any sense. It just his points, the 39 points, didn't have the same effect as when Brunson is like exploding, and you can like feel it through the TV. You can feel how palpable it is, how much he's affecting the game, how much he's just like having an impact on all the different areas of the floor. Tonight, I didn't really feel that from Brunson, even though he had a good game. But maybe this is the game that's really gonna get him going. Maybe in game 4, he's really gonna explode, and we're really gonna feel the impact of his game. So I'm okay. I'm not freaking out. The 76ers did what they had to do. They grabbed the W, and now it's on to game 4 on Sunday.
I know what you mean. I do. I'm not going to say that I don't. But I think something that was part of the reason of that is usually when Jalen Brunson is having one of his Jalen Brunson nights, which has become more and more often as the year has gone on, we see him leading a Knicks team that's consistently up by 15 points. We're not watching him saying he needs to make this shot because the 76ers have not missed a basket in the last 5 minutes, and now they're up by 10 after we were up by 3 going into the half. Now the 76ers have momentum. We need Brunson to do this right now. We need him to do that right now. If he doesn't do all this, we will lose this game. We don't want to lose this game. And every time, no matter Brunson did something good or bad, especially in that third quarter when Brunson played real well, Joel Embiid hit a 3. I believe he had 4 or 5 threes in that third quarter. And look, this is really the one series, unless Giannis comes back and is Giannis in the second round, if the Knicks can get to the second round, which I still fully believe they will. This is the one series where we know that Brunson's not the best player on the court for his team, and that's fine. You're playing against Joel Embiid. In my mind, he's the second best player in the NBA.
Do you still have Brunson as the second best player in this series with a hobbled Joel Embiid?
I think after tonight, you got to say yes, especially because Brunson hasn't had his greatest series.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. My bad.
I think it's more that. It's a good point to bring up, though, for sure. I still think the Knicks are better. I think they're a better basketball team. I think that's been evidently clear through the first 3 games. I also think the Knicks won it more. I mean, look at the end of game 1. Philly's body language was atrocious. The Knicks, though they were making mistakes at the end of the game and not looking like the normal Knicks, you could tell up until their very last moment where we knew it was over, the Knicks were trying to come back. They were trying to win this game. The Knicks want to win this series more. I genuinely believe that. And also something else I do want to touch on. I think it's very often one of the most casual and uneducated takes for fans to have when they say this person's a dirty player because someone happens to get injured next to them. I think the most clear time you could make a reference to that is when people were bashing Giannis for happening to be in the space that Kyrie was when Kyrie went down, when the Nets and the Bucks were playing in game 2 of that series in 2021. Tonight, Joel Embiid legitimately committed a flagrant 2 foul on Mitchell Robinson, and he did something that's very dangerous because when Mitch jumped, Embiid purposely grabbed his ankle, and that is a malicious intent foul. That is a flagrant 2. Joel Embiid should have been ejected from this game, and once again, I want to say it's very important to note that I don't like to say this stuff because I think it's very uneducated by fans to be like, oh, this is a dirty player because he did this when it's not his fault. So I'm trying to say that in the middle. So in case this thing that gets clipped, it's going to make it real hard for someone's life to try to clip that part out and bash me on Twitter. But like, In reality, Embiid did something that should have been a flagrant 2 foul. That was screwed up. And I don't want to complain about stuff like that, but he did. And to do that, to grab someone's leg when they're jumping can cause a serious, serious injury. And it could be very who knows what the injury could be? It could be anywhere on your leg. You could cause a muscle to tear. You could do something. Joel Embiid played a dirty brand of basketball tonight. The 76ers did as a whole because they were frustrated. And I understand the Knicks are a physical team. That was another level. And I think it mainly culminates in that one moment of Embiid. And I think that does have to be brought up when talking about this game and talking about the injury to Mitchell Robinson. Shout out to Dante DiVincenzo for getting in Embiid's face.
I was going to say that, like, I don't really see how anybody would argue with that. Joel Embiid was on the floor. He had no opportunity to get into the play. He grabbed Mitchell Robinson's legs, and he pulled him down. It's not like he just grabbed it. He grabbed it, and he pulled him down when Mitchell Robinson was in midair. So, like, I don't understand if anybody's trying to refute what you're saying. And yeah, that was a really dirty play, and I'm in agreement with you. We were actually talking in the group chat, and one of us threw it in the group chat. We said that Joel Embiid should be ejected, but he only got a flagrant 1, which is crazy. I kind of wanted to ask you because we weren't able to hop on a duo before the series started. So I wanted to ask you, what's your take? How many games are you giving the Knicks to win in this series? Because I originally had the Knicks in 7. And I might stick to it, but I could also see them going 6.
I've thought since the moment this series began, the Knicks were going to win this in 5 games because there was going to be a game where Joel Embiid drops 50 points, and you can't win in the playoffs when another player drops 50. It's very rare. The only occasion I can think of, and is like sometimes with Donovan Mitchell, I think it's happened in the bubble once or twice. He went crazy and they lost. But also the bubble was weird because shooting was easier. Look.
You're keeping it Knicks in 5?
I'm keeping it Knicks in 5. The Knicks showed that they were good tonight. It's not like it's like, oh, no, what are we going to do? It's, okay, Mitchell Robinson's injured. That's a massive problem. He'll probably be back next game because more than anything, it's soreness. Like, you played professional basketball. You had surgeries before. There's just soreness after a surgery sometimes. You got sliced into and surgically repaired.
Yeah, well,
carry that weight.
How many games did Mitchell Robinson play in the regular season before the playoffs started? Do you remember?
I want to say somewhere around 8 to 10. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember his first game was a Friday night, and I think it was in the San Antonio game when Jalen Brunson dropped 61. He looked horrible. He looked just like just completely laboring up and down. So, I mean, we'll see what happened. I mean, I think you're right. I think he'll play on Sunday, but we never know with him, man.
When the Knicks have 2 healthy centers who are able to play the whole game, it's very good for them. It's very good to counter Joel Embiid with. I'm still very confident in the Knicks. If the Knicks lost the game 125 to 114 to the 76ers, and it was just Embiid had 30, Maxey had 25 like he did tonight, and then like Lowry had 15, let's say, and Oubre had 20, and Campaign still had his career and life high of 11 points, and Nick Batum had 10. Then I'd be like, okay, I'm worried. Their role players are playing well. I'm concerned. If Tobias Harris played well for the first time ever, like...
Yo, Tobias Harris is horrible, bro.
He's having an atrocious series. Like, this is really bad.
It's so bad. I feel bad for him because, like, he's getting jumped on because of his contract. And then I'm always like, yo, like, he's actually a decent player.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, for the amount of money that he's getting for a role player, it's like, dude, you got to show up, dog. And this is not the first time he's doing this in the playoffs.
I know.
But whatever.
I know. It's... Shout out to Tobias Harris, native New Yorker. He's helping the Knicks out this series the best he can.
I mean, that's the key ingredient. He wants the Knicks to win, so that's why he's playing like crap.
Exactly. He's a future Knick. He's going to sign with us for the vet minimum next year.
I don't think I'd want that. I don't think I'd want that.
I'd take it personally, like for the vet minimum off the bench, replacing Bogey.
Yeah, vet minimum, not bad.
I'd take it.
$2 million, something like that.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm taking that deal if I'm the Knicks. Why not? Like, the main thing I'm trying to say here is when you look at this game, Joel Embiid had 50 points. Tyrese Maxey had a decent enough game with 25, and Kelly Oubre had the best offensive game of the series. outside of that, it's not like the role players have finally come to play. They're not. Embiid scored 20 more points than he did the past 2 games.
Right.
Knicks lost by 11. Embiid puts up his average of 30. The Knicks win by 9. I'm not concerned. Again, if it were all the role players played well, if it was a stretched out team with a bunch of different scores, then yeah, I'm concerned. But how many times do you see a one-man army win a playoff series or a two-man army win a playoff series against a team that's got that depth to handle stuff like that? Because Embiid, I don't think he's going to drop 50 again on that knee. He's going to burn out at some point. He played 41 minutes is a lot for a guy who's 7'1", nearly 300 pounds, if not over 300 pounds, and already on a severe left knee injury. I don't see this happening again. And look, if Embiid puts up 50 points 2 more times and the 76ers win the series because of it, am I going to be okay with it? No, but it's going to be like, well,
yeah,
that's what happens when you're that good. That's not what I don't see that happening. I don't see Embiid consistently going for 50 every night. That is their path to victory, though. It's always been Embiid has to be the best player on the planet for the next few months if the 76ers want to go anywhere. Hopefully that doesn't happen. That was the greatest shooting quarter I've ever seen by a team. 9 for 12 on 3 with good defense being played.
You got to put your hand out and shake their hand and just be like, that's a good shot. So
yeah, just like respect.
You make a good point, though, as far as like, when was the last time you saw one player or like a duo win a playoff series? More times than not, they're able to win one game in a playoff series, but they're never able to actually win an entire playoff series and move into the next round. So you make a good point with that.
Guys, leave it in the comments below. As we always say, it's really weird that I'm doing the outro right now. I won't lie. But as Dariel would say, the man with the greatest outro in Digest history.
Appreciate you.
Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs, and no matter where he is, Taj Gibson for president. If you guys get us to 6,000 subscribers before the playoffs end, I will actually live stream myself voting for Taj Gibson for president, and my girlfriend might break up with me because of it. But this is what we do for Taj. But in all seriousness, guys, have a great day. Go Knicks. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.